CBT News celebrates 12 years of delivering news, content, coaching, and analysis to the retail automotive community. The strongest team in automotive media, CBT News. You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of Inside Automotive right here at cbtnews.com. Today we're diving into the latest Colorado Auto Outlook to break down how the market has performed and what's ahead. Joining us now is Matthew Groves, who's the CEO of Colorado Automobile Dealers Association. Matt, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So let's kind of jump right in here. You guys have been on fire in Colorado in so many different areas, and we'll jump into that in a minute. I know EVs has been one of the areas that you guys have excelled in, but how did the auto market perform overall in 2024 for your dealers?
You know, we are seeing Colorado come back to its pre-COVID numbers, which is great. I think we were on track to hit about 215,000 new vehicles in the market, which is in line with where we were in 2017.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. And in terms of profitability, what are dealers reporting? A little bit lower than it was in the last 3-4 years?
It is a little bit lower. You know, there are a lot of vehicle purchase incentives coming from the state. So there's a lot of state money on the cars, especially the electric cars. And that is impacting profitability, but it is certainly a boon to sales.
Sure. Have interest rates or the economic conditions out there impacted sales at all in the state? What are you hearing on that?
I mean, you certainly want to say yes, right? Because how could it not? But at the same time, the sales numbers seem to indicate that we're doing okay in spite of them. So, I don't know exactly what role that plays in the consumer's mind, but it certainly has not slowed our growth.
That's fantastic. And in terms of the EV market out there, you talk to us about that, because you guys have done just an incredible job in terms of bringing so many different EVs into the marketplace, and you've been so successful in getting them in consumers' garages. So talk to us about that.
Well, really it is a partnership with the state. We have better state incentives than any other state out there, and we are stackable. So, between the state vehicle tax credit, the vehicle exchange program, the ones that were hosted by Excel last year, between battery electric and plug-in hybrid electric, we ended up reaching 31.4% in Q4, which is numbers we've never seen before. So wow. We're very excited about that. We're interested to see where that goes with the uncertain future of the federal tax credit. And our state is really doing everything they can to try to bring up the other points of concern, be it infrastructure and charging or accessibility, to keep those numbers ahead of the other 49 states.
Is it also safe to say that people in Colorado seem to be maybe more concerned about clean air than some other states out there, and therefore EVs are right there and as a solution?
I think it's definitely a part of it, right? Everybody in Colorado is very concerned about the environment. We've had some severe wildfires over the last several years, and obviously the temperatures are changing here. At the same time, we can't ignore when there's so much state money on the hood of the cars, they're just the most affordable vehicles right now, and that certainly has a role to play too. Right.
And what do you say to the people that say, hey, the days that the government should be subsidizing EVs for consumers to buy them, we're done with that. We need to put a stop to that. They shouldn't put money on a certain type of engine versus another. And what's your take on that?
I'm not going to try to govern our state, right? If this is a goal they want, then we encourage them to pursue the goal, and we're happy to help them pursue it. But obviously, those purchase incentives are a huge part of that chase. So if this is where they want to put the money, we will definitely sell the cars. And if they decide it's somewhere else, then we will continue to sell the cars, maybe just not at 31%.
Yeah, for sure. And how about those ranchers out in your state? Are they buying EV pickup trucks?
It is heavily constrained amongst the Front Range, the metro counties. So we don't see it quite as much on the western slope. But I was driving out in the eastern plains near the Kansas border, and I did see a couple of electric vehicles. So the smaller versions are making their way out there, maybe not at the same rate, but over time, we expect that they will pick up in all parts of the state.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of the consumers out there, I guess when they're coming in, they're asking about EVs in a big way because of the tax incentives.
They are. We do have one requirement for our state tax credit, It's just that you have to title and register within the state of Colorado. So we are trying to keep those vehicles here at home, but at the same time, we are ready to sell to anybody who's ready to buy them.
Yeah, for sure. So are you doing many exports outside of Colorado?
We have some towns that are on the fringe near New Mexico, near Utah, near Wyoming, and occasionally they have some cross sells, but largely it's where the purchase is incentivized, and that is here in Colorado.
Sure, sure. Here we are in the middle of February. What is on your agenda at the association to get done this year in 2025?
We have a couple things going on. Obviously, our auto show is an April auto show, so we have, it's not been our turn yet. We're very excited about some of the evolutions that are coming there. We are in the legislature this year with a vehicle to help control our affiliate language and try to stop some of the things that you see going on nationally. I think those are the two big goals for the spring. As we move into summer and fall, it is just keeping our dealers apprised of what's going on and trying to make sure they know why they continue to be members of the association.
Yeah. Any trends that you see that dealers in Colorado should keep their eye on?
Our eyes, like everybody's, are on the federal government. I would love to say trends, but things happen so quickly there that it does feel like you are chasing the car a little bit. So it's a little bit more of putting out fires day to day than it is watching things over a course of months at this point.
Right, right. And what about used cars in the state of Colorado? Are they as strong as they have been over the last 3-4 years?
They're doing very well right now. A lot of them we see coming in off lease because we've been a very good lease state over the last couple of years, but the availability is there and the affordability is at a more appropriate rate for customers. So they certainly are moving off lots quicker than the new cars. Right.
Yeah. Our dealers, have they reported to you that they're concerned about the affordability situation? Obviously, with the price of a new car being almost $50,000. That seems to be at the forefront of everyone's mind in the industry.
It certainly is. Anybody who's talking to a consumer has to tell you that affordability is the number one concern. As to what percentage of that is interest rates versus what percentage is new car price, it's anybody's guess. But, like I say, we go back to the fact that sales are not slowing down, so they are finding a way to make it work. And while we want every way possible to make the cars more affordable, we're just going to sell what people are willing to buy. The market dictates that for us.
Sure, sure. What if you had to pick one or two challenges for the dealers in Colorado for 2025? What would you point to?
We're pretty concerned about the manufacturers trying to compete against our own dealers. That's going to be our concern this year, and that's why we're in the legislature. Like I've said, we like to keep the fight in front of us. So when you're taking fire from behind, it's sort of a surprise. It's not something you're prepared to fight.
Right.
But we're going to take a stab at it this year and see if we can get something through the legislature that will put an end to that.
I would imagine you're hearing from your Volkswagen and Porsche, Audi dealers about Scout's intention to sell directly to consumers.
We are, yes.
Yeah, yeah. What's your take on that?
We want good partners. That's the end of the day. We've seen the state as a good partner in the EV challenges we've had over the last couple of years, and that's one of the reasons we've been so intent on working with them. When we see manufacturers that are good partners, you generally see a concomitant uplift in the sales of that brand in the state. Yeah. Partnership really makes the sales work, and so I think you'll see that vetted out in the cross-sale numbers.
Yeah. Did you see a jump in sales after the election? A number of your colleagues running associations said that they saw the industry pick up after the election, just by the fact that now the election's behind us.
We did. December's always a good month, no matter who's in charge. But I think the sort of resulting uptick in the general economy definitely contributed to people's comfort level with where we were going to be over the next 12 months and maybe push them towards making that big purchase.
Right. Are tariffs a concern?
Tariffs are always a concern. A little bit hard to quantify how they will impact us exactly, but anything that makes affordability go the wrong direction is definitely going to be a concern for us.
Yeah, boy, that's for sure. Matthew Grove, CEO of the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association, thank you so much for stopping by here at CBT News. We appreciate the update. You guys are doing a phenomenal job out there in Colorado, and I know that you're working every day on the dealers' behalf out there, so that's awesome. And I know that you got a lot of big groups out there that appreciate your work. So thanks so much for stopping by.
We appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for talking.
Great, thanks.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.